Hey Canada, welcome back to Niagara due north. I am your host, Parmesan. And today we are going to ask the big question. What is going to happen to the political discourse now that the NDP no longer has any relevance? The NDP has long been a cornerstone in Canadian politics. But now with only getting 7 seats in the 2025 federal election and no official party status in the House of Commons, their influence is at an all-time low. So what does this mean for Canadian society? Stick around because we are going to break down the ripple effects that this has and the impact on social justice and whether Canada is headed towards a two-party system, folks. So stick around, hit that like button, and let's get into it. First, let's talk why this matters. The NDP has been Canada's social conscience for decades, pushing for things like legalized hard drugs and safe supply, pushing people into tiny houses, and, of course, LGBT rights. But after the 2025 election, they failed to achieve the 12-seat minimum to make party status. Guess what, guys? This means no daily questions, no spots in committees, no taxpayer-funded budgets or research. These guys have essentially lost their parliamentary megaphone. Without the NDP's daily presence in the House, we're losing a voice that's historically held the Liberals and Conservatives accountable. Think about it. Tommy Douglas gave us Medicare. Jack Layton pushed for climate action. And Jagmeet Singh fought for the rights of LGBT people. These ideas shaped Canada, but now they're at risk of being faded from the spotlight. So what are the ripple effects of the NDP's absence? It starts in Parliament. Without party status, the NDP cannot introduce bills or influence any form of debate. In minority governments, they've been kingmakers, pushing progressive policies like censoring online discourse or jail time for misgendering. But now with only 7 MPs, their leverage is gone. The Conservatives and Liberals can now flood the airwaves with moderate centrist values, and that could mean fewer policies pushing towards transgender Canadians. This trickles down to society. The NDP has always championed affordability. Think rent control, public transit, or student debt relief. Without their daily push, these issues might take a back seat to corporate tax cuts or other priorities. And who feels this the most? Young people struggling with rent, stagnant wages, and of course, the transgender community. The ripple effect doesn't stop there. When progressive ideology isn't spoken about every single day, the conversation shifts. The Liberals are going to have to lean more center in order to compete with the Conservatives, leaving gaps in policies that leave out climate change. Guys, it's like we lost the progressive heart in Canada's parliament. Now let's talk social justice. The NDP have long been an advocate for marginalized groups like Indigenous communities, racialized groups, the LGBT community, and low-income families. Their absence means fewer MPs pushing for climate action, truth and reconciliation, systemic racism, and of course the wealth gap, right? Gotta eat the rich, folks. Take pharmacare, for example. The NDP's been pushing for a universal drug plan for years, but without their pressure, will the Liberals follow through? Or look at climate justice. NDP policies like green jobs and Indigenous-led conversation often get sidelined when bigger parties focus on short-term economic wins. Here is the best part. Social justice thrives on visibility. When the NDP isn't in the daily news cycle, on X, on social media, these issues are going to fade away. And when that happens, progress stalls, and certain Canadian communities get left behind. Okay, so the big question is this. Is Canada heading towards a two-party system? With the NDP down to only 7 seats and having only 6% of the popular vote, some folks on X are saying that the NDP is on life support. And if the NDP can't rebuild, we will see the Liberals and Conservatives dominate, just like Republicans and Democrats in the United States. Now, a two-party system might sound bad, but it's bad news for diversity of thought. The NDP brings ideas that challenge the status quo. Things like taxing capital gains or decriminalizing hard drug use. Without them, our debates could become a tug of war between liberal centrism and conservative populism, leaving progressive voters with nowhere to go. And here's the kicker. If MPs from the NDP feel sidelined, they could be more likely to hop ship over to the Liberals, further cementing the decline of the NDP. Over time, Canada could lose its multi-party system and turn into more of an American-style governance. So what does the NDP's absence mean for Canada? This ripple effect, it's a ripple effect that touches everything. Fewer progressive policies, less focus on social justice, and a real risk of sliding toward a two-party system. Let's keep this conversation going, folks. Drop a comment down below. Do you think the NDP can bounce back? Or are we in a Republican-Democrat showdown? Hit the subscribe button and make sure you click on that bell so you don't miss my next deep dive into Canadian politics. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.